You want to start in this business in a country like ours, a developing country that's not known for its fashion. The first thing you need is to ensure that you have support from the highest level. And in our case, we have the support of our Prime Minister. Between him and his wife, we see more than enough support, the support that we need to get this industry going. For those of you who are new to Malaysia, let me just give you an idea of where we are and why this is the advantage of geography is the second important reason why we can be the next fashion capital. If you look, those of you who are not familiar with Malaysia, Malaysia is that red spot right there. And if you see where we are, we're right in the middle of Asia, between two giants, India and China. And that in itself makes it a very interesting position to be in. Interesting in the blend of cultures, in the blend of ethnicity, and that then is reflected in the fashion that comes through Malaysia. And besides that, besides the culture and the culture, you have accessibility, the connectivity. So within 2 hours of being in Malaysia, you can be in Singapore, Philippines, Thailand. Give yourself 7 hours and you're in Australia, you're in Dubai, you're in Tokyo. That's the kind of connectivity that you have based on just that advantage of geography. And as I said, there's the famous slogan, Malaysia truly Asia. When you look at the colors of the people around us, it is true because of the history, the rich history of being in the center of world trading routes, going back in history. You get this blend of cultures in Malaysia. You get the folks with Chinese background, folks with Indian, Middle Eastern. I'm a product of that blend of cultures. I have a grandmother who's half Chinese. I have a mother who has various origins that you can't trace. I have a Portuguese name, and I come from a community, a small community in Malaysia that traces its history back to the Portuguese when they first made their conquest of Southeast Asia. So very, very interesting mix of peoples in Malaysia. And if you see the Malaysians around this room too, you get an idea of who we are. And this mix of not just cultures but also religions. So multicultural, multi-religious, and we live in peace and harmony. And when you think of all the madness that's going on in this world today, a country like Malaysia has a lot to say in terms of how people can live. People of diverse groups and religions can live together in peace. And part of that is also then reflected in our clothes, our fashion, our designs. You've seen some of it, I'm sure, on display. You get that blend, and that richness in the fashion comes through the background that we have in the country. Besides that, we are also a place that makes business sense. We have been ranked as the 4th best shopping destination in the world. We have some of the largest malls in the world, great shopping spots in Kuala Lumpur. We stand head to head with some of the best shopping destinations. Malaysia, this is a report that was done by Euromonitor. It says that Malaysia has real potential of becoming a notable luxury goods market, predominantly among the young, dynamic, and affluent. We also have a very affluent market, a market that's growing. But more than that, because of our alliances in ASEAN and the integration among the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, the economic integration that's taking place, you then get access to not just a market of 29 million, which is what Malaysia is, but a market of 600 million and a market that is growing. You combine that with Malaysia's links then with Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Korea, India, and China, you get a market that is just over 2 billion people. And more interestingly, it is a market which is growing. So given that kind of potential that Malaysia brings, it is not difficult to see why we are talked about as the place to be. And as a place to do business, here's the deal. Everyone can talk about itself. Every country can pitch itself as a fantastic place to do business. But really you have to look at the rankings, and when bodies like the World Bank or the WEF or the IMD in Switzerland keep ranking us among the more competitive countries, then we must be doing something right. And what's really important is the fact that we are on a mission to make things as easy as possible to do business. We are continually looking at our processes, our procedures, to make sure that we don't let bureaucracy get in the way of business. We want to be able to tell businesses that, when you start a business in Malaysia or in Kuala Lumpur or in Penang, that you can start in a matter of days. You can get your business up and running. So, and if you have difficulties, then you have bodies like my ministry that would then walk you through the bureaucratic red tape, which I said we're trying to minimize or even abolish. So there's a lot that we do in Malaysia. We're on this mission to make it a business hub, a business center, a place that makes sense for folks to come and invest in Malaysia. And of course, the government supports this Malaysia Fashion Week, and this is done in conjunction with the MATRADE, which is the Trade Promotion Corporation. And in October, 20th to 22nd, we have InTrade. InTrade is our premier trade event. It's an international trade event. And also for this year, we are having a special section on Malaysian fashion. So you get to see some really exciting things happening. We really think that Malaysia has a place in the fashion world, and we have also a lot to learn from the fashion world. So on that note, we would love to have you come to the inaugural Malaysian Fashion Week 2014. As I think I got is that right, 17th to 22nd? That's the full, includes the Fashion Week as well. Malaysian designers, we have talented designers, but they haven't really been given the kind of prominence. We've never seen a bureaucrat like me go out there and promote fashion. We've never done it, So we are learning. We are in the process of learning how to do this. But what we realize is we have very talented people. We have very talented folks. We have designers. And what we need is that international exposure. Pretty much they've been not exposed enough. And some have gone on their own and done it. But now we realize that this is something that can be it will work both ways, for the recipient as well as for us as the country producing these talents, and an opportunity for our young and upcoming talent to also be given that opportunity to have that international exposure and to really show the world what they can do. So the government then has taken it, has realized this finally, that this is something worth doing. We've been very good at promoting business, real hardcore business. We are one of the world leading exporters of electronic products, for example, chemicals, oil and gas. We are very good at doing things like that and encouraging investments in those areas. But as the country grows, as we try to reach a higher level of development, we need to expand our base, not just in that area, but also to develop the other areas which are more important, equally important rather. So you will see us now increasingly focusing on things like design, so that our designers have a better platform. We also are looking at our services industry, promoting our services industry, things that we haven't given enough attention to. So also to encourage both ways. I mean, we have all the brands selling their products in Malaysia, all the upmarket brands, you name it, we have them. The outlets are in Malaysia. So it is really a very symbiotic sort of relationship that we're looking at. It's not just about us selling, but also us being in the international market, then we also learn from you. So it's really about having it both ways. We have a number of things that we do. We have under my ministry, we have the Small and Medium Enterprises Corporation that helps, that works with the SMEs, the small and medium businesses, startups. We provide that sort of assistance in that. Now, to register a business is just a matter of doing it in an hour. You can register a business, and there's no cost to registering a business. We also have programs for entrepreneur development, and that is new. And this we've just started this under the Prime Minister's office itself. That's the kind of attention we're giving to entrepreneurial development. We realize that there's only so much you can do about creating jobs. It's better that you have folks who are able to create their own jobs or create jobs for themselves. And so there's this body called, it's a very interesting acronym, it's called MAGIC. It is to help startups and to help develop entrepreneurs and to help bring these entrepreneurs, to give them more exposure to, especially the IT. Unfortunately, MAGIC is more skewed towards the IT side. So young startups and for really young entrepreneurs. But for the more folks who are not into the IT, then you have bodies like my ministry that will then provide incentives and grants or soft loans to help you start your business. We have special allocations for machinery and things like that, for automating, for certifying yourself for standards, things like that. So those are support that's provided to the entrepreneurs.
Passion for me.